Okay, welcome to another pop quiz from Homeschool Math Online. And in this question here, we're going to take a look at the area of a rectangle. Okay, so we can see here we have a rectangle with the width being x and the length being x plus 8, but we're also given that the area is 20. So if you recall, the formula for area of a rectangle is area equals length times width. So here you got a basic formula, and you have enough information to solve for x. Okay, and then once you have the value of x, we can actually determine the actual dimensions of this rectangle. So you might want to go ahead and pause the video, see if you can figure it out before we take a look at the solution. All right, so just a little quick piece of information before we go on. This problem is going to be appropriate for probably like an Algebra 1 student. So let's go ahead and take a look at the solution. So as I indicated, the area of a rectangle is length times width. So we have the width being x and the length being x plus 8. So if we multiply them together, that's going to give us our area. So remember, the problem indicated the area of the rectangle was 20. So when we multiply the length and width, it's going to be equal to 20. So this is what we want to do. We want to initially form an equation. Okay, so if we can form an equation, we can actually solve for a variable. So the variable to solve for here is x. Now you can see we're getting into some quadratic equations, and I don't want to speak too much in detail about quadratic equations. That's a full lesson. But if you want to learn, master those that topic or a lot of other topics, you definitely want to come to Homeschool Math Online. We have full, complete lessons in middle and high school mathematics. But anyways, let's continue on. Just briefly on what's going on with this quadratic equation. So we have to solve for x here, and a way to do that is you want to go ahead and form this quadratic trinomial and set it equal to 0. Okay. Now, once you have your quadratic equation, there's a number of different things you could do. You can use a quadratic formula, and there's a couple other techniques you can do, but you always want to see if you can factor the trinomial. In this case, you can, and the factors are x plus 10 and x minus 2, because if you can factor your quadratic trinomial, you can just set those factors equal to 0 and solve for x. It's a real easy way to solve quadratic equations. So you see here we have x equals negative 10 and x equals 2 as our answer to this quadratic equation. However, we want to pick the value here, the values that we have. We want to pick the one that makes sense, okay, as far as being a dimension to this rectangle. So you can see here x equals negative 10. Well, that's a negative number. That's not going to work for us in our rectangle because we don't measure things with negative values. I mean, although negative numbers come in, they describe things, but as far as a dimension, you would say, oh, I have a door that's negative 3 feet by negative 6 feet. You wouldn't say something like that. So we're going to go ahead and just stick with the positive value. So x equals 2, so that would be our width. And if you recall, x plus 8, okay, let's scroll up here. X plus 8 was our length. So all we have to do is just add 8 to that 2, and we get 10. So here's our dimensions. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed this pop quiz. If you have any questions about this material, whether it be area or quadratic equations or anything else, you definitely have to come on over to Homeschool Math Online. It's just a tremendous learning resource, complete full online math courses for homeschoolers. So you definitely want to go and take a look at that. And anyways, like I said, I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something. Have a great day.